Alright, this is part 3 to the 2007 F-150 Moonroof track repair project, and I'm actually done now. I recalibrated the motor. Everything works fine, tilts, slides back, everything's good. So I want to document some things for you guys before I button everything back up. When you start the job, depending on where you get the kit from and what instructions come in it, there are a lot of instructions online, but you're going to have to drill out these rivets, 3 on each side. Make sure you remove your rain tubes. And by the way, I didn't even take this whole assembly down. I took out the bolt on this side and the passenger side, this one, and as well as the passenger side. And I took off the bracket holding up the motor assembly in the back. I let there's 4 up front, 2 on each corner, and I just remove or loosen those to their max position and let the assembly hang. But be careful that you don't screw anything up and put too much pressure on this whole thing while you're doing it. And if you break anything, it's not my fault. It's your fault, by the way. So there's 3 Torx screws, one right there, one in the hole, and one on the other side. I think they're number 20. I take the motor out, and then when you take this rear rain trough assembly or water trough assembly out, you just pull it out. You'll pull the cables are in here. They move pretty easy, so you'll just like basically pull the cables out. And then one thing I would make sure is you don't actually take the cables all the way out of their guides, because unless you document which cable goes in which way, I just wouldn't do that. So this thing will just come right here and it'll basically hang on top of your headliner. Again, by the way, I didn't even remove my headliner all the way. I just put my seats down, armrest up in the center, and just let this thing hang. Kind of easy to do, actually. The only thing that kind of sucked was the sticky adhesive around the edges where the seal goes. That's about the biggest pain in the ass for me. So anyway, once you remove these rivets and pull the cables out and basically pull the assembly out, right about up in here somewhere on the top side, I don't know if I can see it with my camera. There is let's see here. No, I can't see it. There's a little tab that sticks up. It just pops up, and it's actually like this direction. So as let's see if I can do this here. So as the tab's peeking up, and as the guide piece is coming back, it hits the tab. So you actually have to bend that tab down and stick I didn't want to bend it all the way, so I actually stuck a flathead right here, and don't pull on your cable at all. You want to push from the actual guide piece. So I put a flat tip, and then I kind of pushed this down a little bit and guided it up over and pulled back. Yeah, I had to actually use a hammer. I put a piece of wood under here, and not a lot of working room between the roof and here, so be careful you don't jack up your roof. But I had to hit those tabs down, and you don't want to push them down too much to where they are tucked all the way down in that trough, because you pretty much won't be able to get them back up. So just keep that in mind when you're pulling the guide assembly out. So anyway, I pulled the whole guide assembly out. I cleaned the tracks, I re-lube it, I put everything back together, and then before I riveted it, I put all the bolts, everything in place, and I put everything up, and I put the sunroof on, and I manually tested it right there. There's the manual screw. So I operated it up and down, back and forth, tilt. Everything went smooth with no issues. It's kind of hard to actually do, though. There's a little bit of force behind it, but other than that, it worked well. So I plugged the motor in, and I did the recalibration per the procedures that came with the replacement kits and replacement parts, that is. And it works fine now. It tilts where I want it to tilt, and it slides all the way back open, no problems. So I went around, made sure I plugged in all these water drain tubes. I had my rivets in. There is some tacky stick stuff here that I'm probably going to put some silicone, because I don't want water to come out here. So that's probably one suggestion I would have, is make sure you put some silicone back in the edges here before you put this back together. And then once it's all done, you pretty much put the interior back in as you took it apart. One issue I had was you have to be very careful when you plug in your light assembly right here. Let me see if I can focus in there. I basically broke this little T nipple thing here on this side, and this thing touched and arced, and I basically broke that's why I keep blowing fuses too. I just found that out. So fucking this thing is a piece of shit. I'll probably put some silicone down, because I keep blowing, because I'm arcing out these two. Well, I just found that out right now. Anywho, It's number 21 fuse is what I found out was the problem. And I didn't have any power windows. My gauges didn't work. The lighting would come on behind it, but no LCD display, no radio. The door chime didn't work as well. So if you have that issue, I'd definitely look at your lighting assembly. Make sure you didn't screw up any of the wires, and then go from there. Again, it's fuse number 21. So that's pretty much all I got. I'm gonna post this video up, and if you guys got questions, you can ask me, and I'll do the final status when I'm done.